Today on Getting Real with the Housewives, Whitney Rose breaks down her feud with Lisa Barlow.
I'm just done pouring energy into meaningless relationships.
Plus, Reese Witherspoon is working with a housewife. A Mormon wife could have been a housewife. And Meredith Marks talks about her breast reduction. And Vicki and Tamra are at it again, and Alexis Bellino is weighing in.
It's gross. It's the lowest of low you can do.
We got that plus so much more on today's Getting Real with the Housewives. Hey everyone, and welcome to Getting Real with the Housewives. I'm Christina, and we have so much news to get to. Plus, Salt Lake City is back, but we're kicking it off with Reese Witherspoon because she revealed she's working on a new project with a Real Housewives star. And fans, including myself, are buzzing all about who it could be. So she made the revelation at the Emmys red carpet, telling Live from E! The host Heather McMahon that she's never watched the Bravo reality franchise. She stated, "But I did sit next to a Real Housewife on a flight recently." Now, she remained mum when asked to name names, saying, "Well, we might have a Hello Sunshine project cooking now, but I can't say anything. But it was cool. It was really cool." Bravo fans were quick to share their theories on which Housewives personality is collaborating with Reese, with many immediately thinking of stars who have acting experience like Kyle Richards, Garcelle, Lisa Rinna. My guess is probably either Kyle or Garcelle, but I love this. I think this is fantastic. I feel like Bravo is everywhere we go, and now cooking up something with Reese Witherspoon, so I am here for it. Well, this was a sad post this week. Sad news. Nicole Martin is officially saying goodbye to the Real Housewives of Miami, and she is prioritizing her health since welcoming her daughter. So she posted her lengthy social media statement last week, revealing that she's been privately navigating postpartum anxiety since welcoming her daughter Genevieve with fiance Anthony Lopez back in March. She said, "It all started about a week after giving birth when I found myself having an overwhelming sense of worry and fear out of nowhere. It felt like my mind was constantly on high alert, panicked and worrying endlessly about the health of my baby, myself, and my family." Now, she explained that Genevieve was born premature 5 weeks before her due date and spent 2 weeks in the NICU. She joined Miami cast for season 4 in 2021 when the show returned to Peacock. While she announced her departure as a main cast member, she will continue to appear in a friend of role for the forthcoming season 7. But her health and dealing with her postpartum anxiety are what is most important. I'm sure she probably feels that sometimes, obviously, housewives can get a little toxic and there's a lot of drama, and I guess she just feels like she can't do it at this time. Her post was flooded with comments, including Andy Cohen, pretty much saying that she's welcome back at any time, but hopefully, you know, she gets the care that she needs and she's taking care of herself and her baby. So we wish her well. All right, moving on over to OC, and Vicki has no sympathy for Tamra Judge. Can't believe this is still going on. Vicki accused Tamra of faking tears in a recent video in which a tearful Tamra called out Vicki for dragging her relationship with her estranged daughter Sydney into their feud. She said on the Hollywood Raw podcast, "Were there tears? There were no tears. She's a good actress." She said, "What is the point of her doing that? Why doesn't she call me if that's how she really felt? She wants attention. That's what she wants. She wants attention." Now, Vicki continued, "If she really, really cared about me and our friendship, she'd call me off camera and say, 'Let's sit down, let's meet, let's call each other, let's FaceTime each other. We don't need to show anything to the public.' So I think it's all bullshit." Oh, Vicki. Well, we actually caught up with Alexis Bellino, who, of course, is on the season of OC, to get her reaction to this Tamra versus Vicki feud. Take a look. Did Vicki go too far making the comments about Tamra's daughter? I feel like when children get involved, it kind of goes a bit too far.
We're dealing with that now with the media, and our children are now getting involved. I am sorry. It's gross. It's the lowest of low you can do. It's very hurtful, and children are children, no matter what age. They're still your kid. And it does bring Mama Bear and Papa Bear out in our situation. So I know Tamra's Mama Bear is at its highest right now. And enough's enough. I mean, I think Vicki's trying to stay relevant, and so she'll do that at whatever level she has to do that. And it's really sad because I just feel like there's a line that could be drawn, and it's just it's not good.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with Alexis that kids should be off limits, so I feel like this one should be maybe put to bed. All right, well, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Meredith Marks has detailed a weird condition she is facing as she undergoes her 3rd breast reduction surgery. Meredith claimed that her chest continued to grow. This was in an interview with Page Six's virtual reality podcast, which was released last week. She said, "My breast tissue doesn't stop growing. It's wild. Seriously, I have this weird issue, and I'm hoping this is my final breast reduction. I never wanted to be that big. I was always supposed to be a small C." Although she did not share the medical reason for the growth, she does believe there was probably a hormonal cause. Touching on whether she'd undergo a fourth breast reduction surgery if her breast tissue didn't stop growing, she responded, "Unless I want to look matronly." Oh, Meredith. So she said, "So yes, if I have to, I will. That's the thing. Clothes are fitting better now. When you have to go up 2 sizes to accommodate your chest, nothing sits right. It's just not good." Hey, as long as she feels good and wants to feel her best, more power to you. All right. Well, as we know, Salt Lake City is back with a bang. I mean, my expectations were high for this season, and the first episode kind of blew me away. We saw a huge fight between Lisa Barlow and Whitney Rose. We saw a scroll from Angie K. There was just bath bomb fights, but we caught up with Whitney to talk about her tension with Lisa this season. Take a look.
It was so quick that I didn't even see it coming. But it was, you know, it was one of those moments where I was mad at myself for forgetting who people really are and knowing the truth. Like when someone shows you who they are, believe them. So I was kind of mad at myself for letting my guard down too soon with trust. But two, like I was hopeful things would be different.
Yeah.
I really thought that we were going to be back to being friends, but it's a lot harder said than done when you have resentment and a grudge holder.
Yeah. Are you done with her after this season?
Let's get through this season and we'll see about that.
We'll see.
I'm just done pouring energy into meaningless relationships. If it's a one-sided self-serving relationship, I want no business with that.
Oh, it is going to get good. But what could have been for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? So I don't know if you are like me and have been binging the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, but if you haven't started, you should. It's so good. So Taylor Frankie Paul, she's the star on the show, and she was actually in consideration to be a Real Housewife. She said on Sheena Shea Shenanigans podcast, "I actually did get interviewed for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I had an interview, I think, a few months prior to the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, maybe a little longer, and basically a little birdie told me you didn't have enough drama in your life." Well, I don't know about that. Her Secret Lives of Mormon Wives co-star Macy Neely laughed at the notion given Taylor's soft swinging scandal. However, Taylor admitted she understood why the interviewers thought that, as she didn't divulge any details about being a swinger. She said, "I was obviously not admitting to what we were up to." She said while Taylor was in contention to join the ranks of Jen Shaw, Heather Gay, Mary Cosby, Lisa Barlow, and more, she admitted she doesn't watch any of the Housewives series, but she's very familiar with the Salt Lake City franchise and has connected with a few of the ladies at events. I mean, I couldn't even imagine what it would be like having Taylor on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I know Layla on the show has a connection with Monica. I mean, I feel like this dynamic could have been totally different, but I feel like the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is where she totally belongs and thrives, but it is really good. So that kind of segues into our social spotlight of the week. A lot of people have been asking whether or not we are getting a Mormon Wives reunion. So this was posted, and comments by Bravo reposted this with Heather Gay saying that she would volunteer to host that reunion. I mean, I couldn't think of anybody better since obviously Heather Gay is Mormon and lives in Utah, knows all about being a Mormon wife. I think that this would be a perfect crossover. Love to see it. All right, well, that is it for this week's episode of Getting Real with the Housewives. Keep commenting, keep subscribing, and I'll see you next week.